Hello my dear children, welcome back to our EVS class. Children, we were learning chapter 16, a busy month. We already began the chapter and we have learned about the different types of nests that each of the birds make. So in this video, you will learn about the beaks of birds and you will also learn about the feet of birds. So let us begin the class for today. So children, you know that every bird that you see are different from each other, isn't it? I told you that they have different colored feathers. A sparrow is different from a crow. A peacock is different from a rooster. Whereas a sunbird is different from the pigeon. So the same way as all of these birds are different and they live in different places, they also have different kinds of leg or the feet. Just as we have our feet for walking, the same way the birds that live in different places have different kinds of feet to help them do different things. Okay, that's what we learn about today. So, in the picture that I have shown over here, you can see the feet of some of the birds. Okay, for each bird, how their feet looks is different. The first picture that you see over here, did you see how the feet is? This kind of feet helps to swim. The second picture, the second one is for holding to the branches. And next one, it is to catch the prey. And then the fourth one to climb, isn't it? To climb on certain things. And the fifth one to walk on land, isn't it children? The fifth one is to walk on land. So you can see different feet in different kinds of birds. I told you that they live in different places. So the food that they eat will also be different. Some of them will be eating food that they get from the tree, like the fruits or nuts. Some of them will have to get the food from the ground, isn't it? Or from the soil or from the mud. Some of them will have to catch insects. And also they live in different places. So the feet should be in such a way that help the bird to live in that place as well as to catch or eat its food. Okay, so let us see in which all birds you can see such kind of feet. Okay, all the feet are different. See, if you just look into this picture itself, you know how it is different from each other. We will see the uses of these feet one by one and some of the examples of birds that have such kind of the feet. And you all know children, each of the birds look different, isn't it? I told you that they look different. Maybe a crow is different from sparrow, whereas an eagle is different from a peacock. Isn't it? So the same way they will also have different kinds of leg or feet. Just as our feet we use for walking, the same way the feet of the birds are for their different needs, isn't it? They will have different needs, either to catch its food or to swim in the water or to fly around or to hop on the branches, isn't it? Likewise, birds also have different needs. So let us see more about the different kinds of feet that birds have. Okay, so the first picture, it is the picture of a duck, isn't it? If you look at this picture, you can see that, see how the feet is, the toes that you see in the feet are joined, isn't it? Joined with a flap of skin. It is joined with a flap of skin. Such a feet helps the bird to paddle in the water or to swim in the water, isn't it? It's a padded feet. Isn't it? Padded feet or a webbed feet, you can say. Webbed means each of the toes are joined. So such a feet, we call it as a webbed feet. Webbed feet means the toes that you see in the feet are joined with a flap of skin. For example, as you see in a duck, isn't it? So with the help of this feet, it will be paddling through the water. Then next type of feet, we call it as the perching feet, isn't it? The foot that helps the bird to perch. Perch means to sit or to hold on the branches. Okay, perching feet. So see, as you see in a sparrow or in a dove or in a pigeon. Okay, if you look at the foot of this bird, what can you see? You can see the toes, isn't it? So there are actually 3 of the toes are facing forward and 1 of the toe is facing backward, isn't it? So with the help of this toe, it will be holding on to the branches. Okay, when it sits on a branch, in order for it to stay there or to hold on the branch, such a feet will be helping. So if you look at the feet, you can see 3 toes on forward and 1 is on the back side, isn't it? So that will help the bird to hold or cling on to the branches. Example is as you see in sparrow or as you see in a crow or pigeon. Then the next kind of feet, the grasping feet, isn't it? As you see in an eagle, isn't it? In an eagle you can see the grasping feet, isn't it? It is to catch the prey, to catch its prey. Okay, the feet of the eagle is very strong, isn't it? If you look at this picture itself, you know, isn't it? It's very strong, isn't it? It's thick and strong. That helps the eagle to hold the prey. Okay, to hold or to catch the prey. When it hunts for food, it helps it to hold the prey. See, if you look at this picture itself, you can see, children, see, it is holding its prey using its feet or using its sharp claws. So that is the grasping feet, which helps to hold or catch the prey that it hunts. So the claws, if you look, the claws are sharp. Then the next kind of feet is the climbing feet, or that helps the bird to climb over trees or tree trunk. Okay, so it helps it to hold on to the, okay, so that it won't fall off, like as you see in a woodpecker. In a woodpecker, if you see, you can see that the feet, in the feet you can see 2 toes are facing towards the front side and the other to the opposite side. Okay, so that will help the bird to hang on or to hold tightly or to grip on to the trunk. See, here you can see that it has holded the trunk with the help of its sharp claws. See, with the feet it is holding. You all know birds don't have hands or arms like us, isn't it? So it will be doing all the work with the feet and beak. So the feet helps the bird, like the woodpecker, to hold on to the tree trunk, okay, to climb the tree, as you see in a woodpecker. Then the next feet is a strong feet. See, the leg is long and you can see 3 toes facing forward. Okay, why? It is a strong feet, isn't it? Such a foot helps the bird to walk on the land. For example, as you see in an emu. Okay, this bird that you see over here is actually the picture of a bird known as emu. Okay, this bird is not able to fly. It is a flightless bird. Okay, it can't fly, so it will be walking on the ground just like an ostrich. Okay, so its feet is strong and it helps the bird to walk on the ground. So see how the feet is. So it is having 3 toes that faces forward. So it helps us to walk on the land or on the ground. Then next is about the beaks of birds. Okay, you learn about the beaks. You all know, children, birds don't have teeth. They don't have teeth like us. So they have to chew or break the nuts, or they have to eat the fruits with the help of the beak. Okay, so they usually do the function that we does with our teeth. They will be doing it with their beak. And you all know, they just swallow their food. They won't bite it thoroughly, or they won't chew thoroughly as us. Why? Because they don't have the teeth. They will just break it using their beak and then they will swallow it. So beak is doing the function as that of our teeth in birds. So here birds also have different kinds of beak. If you look at the picture over here, different birds have different kinds of beaks. So here, children, in the first picture, the beak is hooked and sharp, isn't it? It's very sharp. So in such birds, for example in eagle, okay, the picture is that of an eagle. In eagle, you can see that they will use their strong hooked beak to tear the meat and eat it. Okay. Then whereas in woodpecker, the beak is chisel shaped. Okay, just like the tool chisel. See, it's sharp and strong. So it helps the woodpecker to peck woods or to make holes in the trunks of trees. Okay, to make holes in the wood or tree trunks. Then whereas this beak that you see over here, that of a sunbird, isn't it? Here you can see that it is helping the bird to suck the nectar just like a sharp straw, isn't it? And it's also long, isn't it? Long and sharp beak that will help the bird to get nectar from flowers. And if you look over this picture, such beak you can see in birds like kiwi, isn't it? And also in stork or heron. Here you can see that these birds have a probing beak. That means a beak that is longer than their face, and that is just like a long straw or a pipe that will help the bird to find the insects that are there below the mud and to eat it. Okay, to eat the insects or worms. So they can take it with their beak and then eat it. Okay. Then the next one is the sharp or blunt beak. This kind of beak you can see in a parrot, isn't it? Or a sparrow, that helps it to break or crush the seeds. Okay, so you know that the seeds are strong. So their beaks are strong enough to break those seeds and eat it. Seeds or any of the grains. Then what about this? This is the beak of a crow. You know that it is large, isn't it? And it helps the bird to eat any kind of a food, isn't it? It can eat, crows eat different kinds of food. So just by looking at the beak, children, you can say what kind of beak what kind of food a particular bird is eating. See, for example, an eagle eats meats. Okay, an eagle eats meat, and a woodpecker, it usually eats insects as well as fruits. See, so its beak is also chisel shaped, just like as you learned in a barbet or the coppersmith bird makes holes in the tree trunks and then builds its nest. The same way woodpecker also does the same thing. Okay, so woodpecker has a chisel shaped beak. Okay, that helps it to make holes in the tree trunks and then to eat the food also. So it's just like the what you say, the tool chisel. Then the sunbird, you know how the beak is. See, it is long. It helps the bird to get the nectar from flowers. For example, such beak you can also see in hummingbirds. Okay, that will help it to suck the nectar. Then this beak is called the probing beak. See, it is very long. Such kind of beak you can see in birds that usually walk through the mud in search for food. Okay, so they actually get insects or worms that are there in the mud with the help of this beak. Okay, then next is the nutcracker beak, what you see in the parrot or in sparrow. See, it helps the bird to crush the nut and then eat it. And the next one is the beak that you see in birds like crow, that eats all kind of food. So when you look at this picture, children, you all know by looking at the beak you can say what kind of food the bird eat, isn't it? Just by the beak you can say the beaks are modified or the beaks are given to the birds according to the food it eats. So birds have beaks for what? Beaks are different in different birds. Sorry. Beaks are different. Beaks are different in different birds. In different birds. According to the food it eats. Isn't it, children? Beaks are different in different birds according to the food it eats. Okay, so children, I hope that you understood this portion well. So please read through the textbook. So in this video we learned about the different kinds of food that you see in birds, isn't it? And we also learned about the different types of beaks that you see in birds. According to the beak type, we can say what kind of food the bird is eating, and the feet also helps the bird to do different functions. So I hope, children, this video is clear. So thank you, children.